this over? I did, didn't I? I'm so clumsy on stage, I'm tripping over the wires and stuff. Somebody help me. Oh no, what's that out in the bay? It's a drowning American. He's drowning in debt. He's drowning in despair. He's had the last gasp of air pushed out of his lungs by the drug cop with the billy club in the back, the small of his back. He's a drowning American. I hope there are no more drowning Americans here. I hope we all come together and declare ourselves free and declare each other free. That's what we need. I want to tell you about Cures Not Wars. Cures Not Wars is a national organization based out of New York that believes that we can solve the drug problem before we even end the war on drugs. We'll solve the drug problem for them because it's obvious to us that they're not trying to solve the drug problem. It's just a political game they're playing. So we came up with ibogaine, which is the antidote to addiction, and promoted that and got it through DNIDA rat trials and proved that it worked. And we got it into FDA, and right when they were ready to approve it, Bush yanked the money for it and said, this is no longer for consideration. You will not finish the ibogaine antidote to addiction FDA approval trials. And they've been sitting there for 12 years now. We could have had 12 years of curing addicts to cocaine and crack and meth. But no, Bush didn't want that. He wanted a war on drugs. So now what? We have Kerry who believes in treatment, and Kerry knows about ibogaine now. And he knows that treatment does work, and that treatment's better than incarceration. And Cures Not Wars is going to help show him how we're going to solve the drug problem for the pigs instead of by the pigs. And then, of course, the second aspect of Cures Not Wars is to end the war on cannabis. It makes no sense. It's like this war in Iraq doesn't make sense. You wonder why they send people out there to be military police with no equipment and why it just doesn't make sense. It's because it's not a military campaign. It's a Republican presidential re-election campaign. Don't support people who won't respect our troops by sending them into a war that's a political campaign rather than a military campaign. Don't play with our brains. Don't play with the little buttons in our chest that tell us to fight or to flee or to salute or to do whatever the fuck you programmed us to do when we were 2 and we watched our Transformer cartoons. We won't take it anymore. We smoke pot, and pot insulates us from that. Pot can help at least slow the onset of brainwashing. That's why they hate pot so much. Oh, they hate pot. Boy, do they hate. What is this hate they have for pot? It's just like racism, isn't it? You know what pot people are like. Come on, man. We could go to Congress and say we wanted to make a law banning cannabis. Well, let's use the word marijuana, because it's a Mexican slang term with the implication that only Mexicans and Negroes and other lowlifes of color use this stuff. Therefore, it must be illegalized. Therefore, it must be dangerous. It's that sort of bigotry. Oh yeah, those pot people, they don't work. They're just lazing under the sun. Oh, those pot people, I don't want one to date my daughter. Oh, those pot people, oh, they can't drive. They act like they're drunk, right? Isn't that what pot does? Does pot make you act like you're drunk? Isn't that what it does? I don't know. I don't smoke pot. I don't understand this, so I'm going to buy into the bigotry. Because it's so much easier than smoking a joint and learning the truth for yourself. My God, people. God forgive America. I see the bumper stickers that say, God bless America. Look what we've done with God's blessing. No, those people should be Nation of Prayer. Anyone seen the Nation of Prayer bumper stickers? Like these people that we're fighting against don't pray 5 times a day. But no, we're the Nation of Prayer. And then there's the one, the power of pride. And it's like, what the power of pride? What does it even mean? Pride comes before a fall is all I see when I see that bumper sticker. My bumper sticker says, God forgive America. We need to have a God Forgive America campaign to tell us, hey, we need to go to the third world and have a mea culpa and say, look, we know that we've allowed our corporations to exploit you people and we're going to put a stop to it. We know the CIA has created enemies for us all over the third world. We're going to put a stop to them. We know that the oil companies have been putting a stop to our environment. So we got to put a stop to them and get to energy farming. This campaign year's buzzword is energy farming. Remember energy farming, repeat energy farming. It's going to save all our asses. Sure, he means soybean at first, but we'll get them to switch to canola oil, which is a more appropriate biodiesel fuel. We'll get them to start chalking those oil refineries with organic celluloid product instead of petrochemical feedstock. It's the same technology. They just got to use it that way. It's all they have to do. It's been the same paradox. It's two sides of the same coin, the hydrocarbon and the carbohydrate. And when you look at the 30s in the history of America, it's been a battle between the purveyors of the carbohydrates, the farmers, and the purveyors of the hydrocarbons, the petrocriminal industry. It's funny what you learn when you study history. You know, we got to have more history and knowledge in this country because we're really falling behind in this. Oh, there's a beautiful woman with flowers. Oh. What did I say? Energy farming, that's the word. Repeat it. Carbohydrates versus the hydrocarbons. Yes. Are you really?
I'd rather be growing hemp.
You're a certified organic farmer? How many acres? This woman has saved 5 acres from petrocriminal farming. Come back, are you single? Well, then don't go too far. I'm single too. Wow. I was going to do a stage dive there, but there was only one person. You just got more game than Parker Brothers. More game than Parker Brothers. Oh, I love Seattle. I love the Hempfest. I love the concept of people coming together. We gotta have this. You know, in Ann Arbor, Ann Arbor Police and the Department of Public Safety send all their officers into this diag of 7,000 hippies, and they all sit down, and the police officers are locked inside the crowd of sitting hippies. And they sit there and they have to listen to the message about marijuana and the life stories of medical patients who come from all over the country to speak out. And it's like sensitivity training to the nth degree for these guys. It's a beautiful thing, man. The cops here are the best cops in the world, man, because they're the smartest cops in the world, because they've had the opportunity to be exposed to the truth over and over again. You can't resist it. It's there. You hear it. We're human beings. We naturally appreciate being given the truth. You know, we got a whole thing, and this election's also good, not just about energy farming, but it's also about the truth. Because the truth is from God. It's a gift of God. It is God. God is truth just like God is love. And what does it mean when someone comes and tells you a lie and obscures the truth? They've taken that truth from you. So you got to go to Seattle Hempfest to get some of that truth back. Get back what was taken from you and then sold back to you for a profit. When you get closer to the truth, you get closer to God. And I can think of no greater source of power and reassurance than that. So when you walk in the path of the truth, you can't help but walk in the path of righteousness. And when you dispel the evil of the lies and the prejudice and the bigotry and the mythology about cannabis, then you don't just empower yourself and beautify yourself, but the whole area. And then if we all do it, we beautify the whole state. And then if we win here and we take it as successfully as we have in the Midwest back across to the South, we will win this together through these gatherings and through the fact that we want to know the truth and that we want to share the truth. Because the truth is the only thing we've got left. At some point, it's too late to do anything as far as defend yourself with arms against the government. I mean, the whole right to bear arms is a great thing, but I have to declare the right to bear arms officially obsolete.
The right to arm bearers.
Because you can't play the game of violence against the government and win. They've been doing this since the dawn of time, and they always win. What you do is what they did in Moscow, where they lined the streets and filled the streets with their bodies. And I saw those kids in Moscow when the Russian Empire fell, standing on the tanks, and they looked like me. They had beards and long hair, and I bet they smoked pot. And they brought down communism. So if that can happen, and it didn't require guns and it didn't require cracking skulls, then we got to conclude that that's the only way it's going to happen here. So work within the system to whatever extent you can, and then we're going to wrap the stage and hopefully...